So I have to work with 7 less minutes on my clock, but not the biggest deal. So round 5 vintage challenge, we kept a pretty strong PO hand. Maybe opponent kept a stronger PO hand. We'll see. Sure. Oh wait, opponent's not on PO, opponent is on Grixis Thieves. I always forget. Holding up Pyroblast, 3 cards in hand with a top spin and a top refresh. It's gonna be really hard for us to win. It's a good draw though. Now I'm wondering if we even cast this Ponder, seeing as we don't have another blue card for our force. I guess if this gets mental misstep, things go kind of wacky. I think I'm still casting Ponder here. Git Probe. Interesting. I mean, I want this Pearl, and I want this Git Probe as a blue card. I guess I just take this Git Probe as a blue card, draw Pearl, and go for the three card PO next turn. Seems pretty reasonable. Maybe fetch away the Vamp, because I don't really want a Vamp. Opponent gets to spin and crack and spin if they really want to. It's going to be pretty rough. We definitely want to have a Force of Will there, so maybe casting Ponder is just too greedy. It's definitely possible. They just crack right away. Interesting. I guess their top 3 wasn't very good. They get another spin now. No. They have a Brainstorm. It doesn't really do very much, but okay. I don't know why you would cast Brainstorm instead of just spinning. What does it accomplish? I guess like technically you could put spin after this, put those 2 cards as 2/3, and then fetch them away. So I guess you can kind of Brainstorm fetch here with a little extra work. I guess that makes sense. A little odd, but seems reasonable, I guess. All right, spin. Oh, they have a Vamp to shuffle away. That's pretty good. I think we're gonna die. This seems really bad for us. I lose against the deck 84 a lot. The Grixis decks they typically play, and by typically I mean every time play, are typically very good against whatever I'm doing. Mostly because Pyroblast Force of Will. I think they also like won the challenge last week, or at least were battling in the finals of challenge. They got an academy, huh? What does that do? 2 cards in hand? Maybe they play something with mana drain backup? Is it like Tezzeret? Or they have PO in there? No, they're spinning now? Or they spun with a... This is interesting. I don't know exactly what's happening. I'm pretty sure I'd let a Tezzeret resolve. Oh, it's a Narset, which obviously I cannot let resolve. I hope this force resolves or we die. Maybe they tutored for Narset. That'd be a big brain play. All they need to do is use their top to find a force or a pyro. Are they gonna like Twister now, maybe? They could have gone for like Narset Twister. No? Alright, well, let's hope our PO resolves. We can play our own Spell Pierce. So we should do that. Should I fake out a Pyroblast? Nah, our blue mana is really precious. Oh, I guess we can fake out a Pyroblast because we don't have any blue mana off of these sources. So we'll do blue, and then we'll leave the red as our one floater. 1, 2, 3. Mostly because if you play a Narset before you Twister, then your opponent does not get to draw 7 cards. That would be the reason. It was a big combo when PO was unrestricted. When Narset was unrestricted, PO would always be about Narsetting with Twister as an alternate win con. So here we're actually short on blue mana. I think what I'm gonna do is scroll for a Force of Will. I know it's a little weird, but I really just don't want to die. I think we're gonna win the game if it goes longer. So this way I have like, I shouldn't die on the next turn, and then I can repeal and look for more. Like, our deck is built in a way where we have lots of these powerful hits. So I would like to probably survive long enough to have one of them. Like, you can technically scroll for an Ancestral or a PO there, but I don't think in this situation that's better. Opponent's got 1 card in hand. We should be able to match most of the things they do. We don't want opponent to, like, Twister. And we just don't have a lot of blue mana because we don't have an Opal or a Sapphire here. Are you going to fetch and look for your new top 3 cards, or are you going to use your last card here? They're going to make 3 blue, draw a card. You got it. Into what? We actually have the misstep for the top on the way back down if they play like an Ancestral or something here. I guess we would misstep the Ancestral if they played an Ancestral here, but if they played like a, I don't know, a Preordain or something, we get a free top with our misstep. This is a pretty interesting game. Oh, 6 mana? Yogwell. And they activated top first. I'm gonna force and leave misstep up here. I know I lose my ability to help cycle through cards, but I'm a little concerned about the cards that they can have follow up here. Especially if like I want to misstep a top, which will help make it a top deck war. Like, obviously, they have to draw top next turn, and we get to just misstep it, which is pretty insane. Oh, that's a good draw, Justin. That's probably a game-winning draw. Now the top is even more dead. That was a good top deck. This is exactly why I wanted to get a Force of Will and a misstep and play to my top of the deck. And Karn looked nice there. So now we're playing against Grixis deck, Fade-In.deck. We're going to play Flusters and Remoras. And we're going to board out Hercules, an Island, and a Mystical Tutor. And then hit Submit. I'm just going to go check their deck list again to make sure that's the case. But they have a very unique deck list on Magic, in the Magic Online metagame. I don't think anyone else really plays it the way they do, or plays the deck list / the way they do. I couldn't get it in time. Whatever. Narset is the knockout card against PO. It's very hard for your PO deck to beat Narset. You have some options with like Mentor and stuff, but this hand's great. 3 mana on turn 1, Force of Will, Probe, and a PO. I really enjoy this hand. This is pretty close to an ideal hand for me. If we like draw Mana Crypt or something on turn 1, then we're just in business. Representing Pyroblast here. But we have a probe. Let's check what they have before we make any rash decisions. A land was like one of our worst draws. Definitely had not much use for a land, at least right away. So they do have Fluster, Force, and a bunch of uncastable blue cards. So we're just going to play out our Moxen and our top and pass it back. I should be able to play around Fluster this game pretty reasonably. I now regret not having played Fetch Land over Island. Oh, they're just going to force my top? Yeah, that's fine. Sure. This is fine with me. So we know opponent's hand is Fluster, C, Dig, Jace. And one unknown. So we can't technically beat a Flusterstorm right now. But we can make it so it's awkward for them to use it. Oh, that's a sweet draw. If they were to fluster this, we would just pay. Interesting. Very, very interesting. All of these cards are reasonable for us here. We can just put away Dig, Lotus, no. Put away, so we can actually play a PO on their turn through Flusterstorm. Maybe what we want to do is... I don't really want to jam much of anything here. Maybe I'll just put the scroll below the Emerald and play a Lotus. We're so close to digging as well. I could overwhelm a Flusterstorm this turn, right? Or I could just scroll for a Flusterstorm. I just don't want to get rid of the cards that I just brainstormed into, which is the awkward part about casting Brainstorm there. So here, if we now dig on their upkeep, 4 cards in yard, 5 cards in yard, I can pay. Yeah, let's do that. I think this is the best way to going about this. Three, 4, 5. Just upkeep. So the only way this gets countered is if they draw a Force or a Pyroblast last turn. So now we have Lavinia, which is great against their current hand, as well as Mentor, Fluster, Demonic. Maybe just Lavinia, Fluster? I'm looking at Lavinia, Fluster, Lavinia, Mentor, and Lavinia, Demonic. Demonic is kind of bad against their Fluster. Maybe it's just like Lavinia Mentor. Having a Fluster this turn is kind of sick, though. I think I just like Flustered Lavinia. I think that puts us in a really good spot. It does put a lot of like really good cards in the bottom. I kind of did that in a shitty order, but whatever. They drew a land. So they still have one on... Okay, they drew enough to get a Jace this turn if they want it. That's fine because they can't Fluster here. So now I can go Force Pitch, Fluster, Slam, PO into Lavinia. It's pretty good for me. Because I know what their last two cards are. Any Mox in here is exponentially good. Opponent's like keep was a little awkward. I guess technically we haven't really won this game yet, but it's gonna be, oh my. Alright, well, I'm gonna start by Ancestraling. Oh, now I can't play a PO, but it's fine because we have Lavinia plus Fluster. I guess Fluster doesn't really do much, so there's Lavinia plus top. They can't cast Dig with the Lavinia in play, so all they have is a Fluster, and if they were to draw a Ancestral, it would resolve anyways, so... Now our PO will get countered by their Fluster, but we can just PO at the end of their turn and then untap and PO again. It wasn't like a great Ancestral draw. I was like hoping for land or Moxen so that I could PO and then replay Lavinia after PO. So they just have a million... Okay, so they just have 5 mana, but all they can do is Fluster. I just want more Mox in here. Night's Whisper. Yeah, I kind of want to get the Fluster out of their hand by end of turning a PO. Maybe that's wrong. I'm not really sure. I just want to be able to untap and PO. Our second Fluster draw was not very good. This could be a misplay, but I guess this gives us a lot of options to like spin into a Force or something. I don't know. Second, oh, this is end of combat? What's going on in the end of combat? It's just a mistake. They're gonna do something in their second main instead. Demonic Tutor. How am I supposed to play around this? If they get Ancestral and cast Ancestral, and we Fluster with 3 copies, and then they Fluster back, and we have 3 mana to pay for copies, and they have 2 mana to pay for copies, they could get a Narset. Then we would just PO in response. I guess there's like really no option here for me. I have to let this just resolve and go through it as we go. I guess unless I spin into a Force. I think I just let this happen. I'm not 100% sure though. The Demonic is like one of the best possible draws they had though, right? I think I just jammed this PO into their Fluster Ancestral. I really need to get this Fluster out of their hand. And I can never counter this Ancestral if they just play correctly. Hopefully they didn't draw Pyroblast, I guess, is like the big hopefully they didn't draw they didn't do. I don't think I might have played this sequence poorly. Maybe I was just supposed to Nice Whisper on my turn. I guess they can't force, right? Because we have a Lavinia. All they can do is Fluster or Pyro. So they basically have to have drawn a second Fluster or Pyro on my upkeep, or we draw a bunch of cards off of our PO, right? If we can just draw another Moxen, then we have our own Flusterstorm, and we should just be lit. But I guess if we don't, things get dicey. I would love just an Opal here. Scroll, really? Why can't we just draw a Moxen? So if we get Pyroblasted here, it's just so bad for me. Maybe I just want to cast Night's Whisper. Maybe I should have not used a Pearl in case I drew Mentor. There's my Opal. I drew a Misstep. That's really good. So maybe I'll scroll for a dig. Or a force. Maybe I'll just scroll for a force. There's the Pyroblast. Wow. I think we navigated this turn much better. Surprised I didn't Pyroblast Lavinia. I'm gonna get dig now. Oh, I don't have a dig. I already dug. Alright, I'm just gonna get a force then. So all they have left, we know, is a dig they can't cast and 3 unknowns, 2 unknowns. They can hard cast force now with 5 cards. But we have a Fluster to match that. I have to play fast because I used up so much clock. Can't really think too hard, though. They're catching back up. He used like 7 minutes finishing that league game. Alright, they've decided pass the turn. Am I gonna spin here? I guess this Fluster doesn't really do anything, so yes. Ruby. Yeah. I'm gonna go Ruby, attack, pass the turn, and then we can play things on their turn. I guess I don't have to play Ruby before I attack, but... Gonna look for an end step paradoxical outcome. Give them the opportunity to show me cards during their main phase. Time Vault. Okay. Nice toast. Brilliant. I'm gonna not activate my top and just cast a PO for 5. This way I can spin into a blue card if I need to. I know that the top 2 cards are not blue cards. This is gonna be the hard cast Force, which we're gonna fluster. Alright, we navigated the second half of this game fairly well, I think. Do I want to end of turn vamp for something? Sure. Why not? I mean, it doesn't really matter, right? But we can like sneak a mentor in here at some point. I guess technically the time walk is more important than the mentor. I don't think it matters. I'm pretty sure we're deterministically drawing our whole deck here. Maybe we were just supposed to, I don't know, get the other... I guess we have a Snapcaster, so there's really no reason to get another PO. Yeah, we haven't cast any Painful Truths today, so I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea. Where's my mentor? I have 15 cards. 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. There's my mentor. Alright. Got there. Good thing we didn't have to play 3 games, because I do not have much time left. We cast Mentor Time Walk. We've already cast Time Walk, so we just make a bunch of monks, go to our next turn, and attack them for very, very lethal. Well, we already have Time Walk once. We haven't even used our Time Walk turn. But we could always snap Time Walk turn. We put in a Night's Whisper and a Vault Key. A Night's Whisper and a Painful Truths for the Vault Key. Alright, we'll go to another turn. And just pitch a bunch of cards. Small storm count of 33. Yeah, there's no reason to play Tendrils in your deck, because it's just like a save you time training wheels card, basically. You're always going to be able to win once you get into the situation, so the way you win doesn't really matter, so you might as well make it more part of your deck. Like, Mentor is just always there, basically, so no worries. And even if you didn't have Mentor, you have the ability to like Bolus' Citadel, Yawgmoth Will, return everything, Bolus' Citadel. Exactly. Mentor is like never a dead card, whereas Tendrils can be a dead card. Oh, not what we wanted to do. Everyone in their world, everyone in the world is sending me these COVID messages from companies that I just don't care about. Oh, I should pay my bills, huh? I don't get to complain about having to wait to win this game because I spent 7 minutes finishing my other game at the start of this round. Though I still finished with like only 5 minutes less than my opponent, right? So, and that's after clicking through the a full PO down to 7 cards. Would you rather be? Do, 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 do. Oh my god, another COVID-19 message from Verizon's founder. Sorry, group CEO. I don't want to listen to you unless you're your founder. Come on. Don't you rather? All right, so we're not dead. That's good. That means more vintage to be played today. If we had lost that match, that would be the end of the road, chat. You'd hate to see it. No, you bring them all in. You like don't really want to think about Karn as like a Karn's like an afterthought kind of deal. It's not your main game plan. If a card is good for you in the matchup, you board it in instead of keeping it in your Karn board because of basically that reason that there's only one Karn. So would you rather be? Alright, we just need to go to attacks and then we win. I'm just gonna F6 into attacks. X3 means you're not gonna top 8. You're not dead for prizes, but I'm not playing it out. Actually, maybe it is you're dead for prizes because if there's so many players and you only pace the top 32. I do not think I would keep playing if I was X3, but I'm not sure.